Today on Houzz Ideas, we're exploring 11 stunning front yard designs that feel like peaceful garden retreats. From lush layered landscapes and modern courtyard gardens to tropical hideaways, natural stone pathways, elegant water features, and cozy spaces designed to make every arrival feel special. And stay until design number 11, because our final concept combines several of these elements into one breathtaking front yard retreat. If you love beautiful landscaping, garden design, modern outdoor spaces, and inspiring ideas for transforming your home, subscribe to Houzz Ideas, turn on notifications, and join us for more outdoor inspiration. Now, let's step into the garden. Number 1. The Lush Layered Entry Garden. Let's begin with one of the most effective ways to create a peaceful garden atmosphere. Layer your landscaping. Instead of planting everything at the same height, create different levels. Start with taller shrubs or small trees toward the back. Add medium-height plants in the middle. Then finish with low ground covers, flowers, or ornamental grasses near the pathway. This creates depth, and depth is what makes a garden feel immersive. As you walk toward the entrance, the plants gradually reveal different textures and shapes. Nothing feels flat, nothing feels empty, and even a relatively small front yard can feel like you're walking through a miniature botanical garden. For a peaceful aesthetic, keep the plant palette relatively simple. Repeat a few varieties rather than introducing too many different species. The repetition creates harmony. Number 2. A natural stone pathway through greenery. If you want your front yard to feel like a garden retreat, think carefully about the journey to your front door. A straight concrete walkway gets you there, but a natural stone pathway can make the journey part of the experience. Use large stepping stones surrounded by greenery. The path can remain relatively simple. The plants provide the drama. Allow some ground cover to soften the edges of the stones. Add small grasses or flowering plants beside the pathway. And if your space allows, introduce a subtle curve. That curve creates anticipation. You can't see everything at once. You have to walk through the garden to discover the entrance. And that small element of discovery can make an ordinary front yard feel magical. Number 3. The Modern Courtyard Retreat. For a more contemporary interpretation of the garden retreat, consider a front courtyard. Instead of treating the yard as open lawn, create an intentional outdoor room. Use a low wall or fence to define the space. Then introduce a simple paved surface. Add one sculptural tree, a few large planters, and perhaps a small bench. The secret here is restraint. Don't fill every available inch. Let the architecture breathe. The contrast between clean lines and natural greenery creates a calm, sophisticated atmosphere. And because the space is partially enclosed, it can feel surprisingly private. Almost like a little outdoor living room at the entrance of your home. Number 4. A tropical front yard oasis. If you want your front yard to feel like a vacation every day, create a tropical garden retreat. Start with one statement palm or small tropical tree. Then layer large leaf plants around it. Add ferns, ornamental grasses, and plants with different shades of green. The trick is not to simply add as many tropical plants as possible. Instead, create structure. Use the larger plants as anchors. Medium foliage fills the middle layer, and low plants soften the edges. Then introduce natural stone or timber to balance the lush greenery. The result can feel less like a traditional front lawn, and more like the entrance to a private resort. Number 5. The minimalist green garden. Peaceful doesn't always mean lush. Sometimes, the most relaxing garden is the simplest one. This minimalist green garden uses fewer elements but gives each one more importance. A carefully shaped lawn, one beautiful tree, a narrow gravel border, a few architectural plants, and a simple pathway. Notice how much empty space remains. That negative space isn't wasted. It's part of the design. It allows the eye to rest, and it makes the individual plants feel more significant. This approach works beautifully with modern architecture because the simplicity of the landscape echoes the clean lines of the house. Number 6. The secret garden entry. What if your front yard had a little mystery? Create a secret garden entrance. Instead of revealing the entire landscape from the street, use a gate, arch, trellis, or strategically positioned plants to partially hide the pathway. Then allow the garden to reveal itself gradually. Climbing plants can soften the structure. Flowering plants can add seasonal color. And a narrow pathway can lead visitors toward the front door. This approach creates a sense of discovery. The garden becomes something you experience rather than simply look at, and that makes the entrance feel much more special. Number 7. Ornamental grass retreat. For movement, texture, and a softer natural appearance, consider ornamental grasses. They're especially beautiful when planted in groups. As the wind moves through them, the garden becomes dynamic. You hear the rustling, you see the movement, and the plants soften hard architectural elements. Combine grasses with stone pathways and a restrained planting palette. The result is modern but natural, elegant but relaxed, and because grasses can occupy relatively narrow planting beds, they're particularly useful for compact front yards. Number 8. Front yard with a small water feature. Few things create a sense of calm quite like water, and you don't need a large pond to introduce it. A small water feature can become the centerpiece of a front yard retreat. Imagine a narrow reflecting pool beside the pathway, or a simple bubbling fountain surrounded by greenery. The water adds movement, reflection, and sound, and that sound can make the front yard feel more peaceful. Combine it with natural stone and soft planting. Then add subtle lighting for evening. Suddenly, your entrance becomes more than beautiful. It becomes an experience. Number 9. The tree-centered garden. Sometimes, one tree is enough to transform the entire landscape. Choose a tree with a beautiful natural shape. Position it where it can become the visual anchor of the front yard. Then keep the surrounding planting relatively low. This allows the trunk and canopy to become the main feature. As the tree grows, it can provide shade, movement, seasonal interest, and a stronger connection with nature. And there's something timeless about arriving home beneath the canopy of a beautiful tree. It makes the house feel established, grounded, and connected to the landscape. Number 10. The cozy front yard seating garden. Here's an idea that changes the purpose of the front yard completely. Add a place to sit. A small bench doesn't require much space, but it can transform the garden from something you simply pass through into somewhere you actually stop. Place it beneath a tree, beside a planting bed, or near the entrance, surrounded with greenery. Add a few flowers, maybe a small side table. Now you have a place for morning coffee, a quiet conversation, or simply 5 minutes of fresh air before starting the day. Sometimes, the most luxurious feature in a garden isn't an expensive material. It's a place to pause. Number 11. The ultimate front yard garden retreat. And now, our final design. Imagine combining the most beautiful elements we've explored into one peaceful front yard retreat. Start with a subtle modern fence. Not a completely solid wall, but a structure that provides a sense of privacy while allowing greenery to soften its edges. Along the fence, create layered planting. Tall plants toward the back, medium shrubs in the middle, and low ground cover near the pathway. Then introduce one beautiful statement tree. Its canopy creates a natural ceiling. Underneath it, place a simple bench. Not oversized, not complicated, just comfortable enough to invite you to sit. Now create a natural stone pathway leading toward the entrance. Let the path curve slightly through the planting. Along one side, add a small water feature. The sound of moving water creates another layer of calm. Then add subtle lighting. Illuminate the tree from below. Highlight the pathway, and softly light the planting beds. As the sun begins to set, the garden changes. The greenery becomes silhouettes. The water catches the remaining light. The pathway begins to glow. And the front door becomes the final destination. What started as a simple front yard now feels like a private garden retreat. And that's the beauty of thoughtful landscaping. You don't need to make the yard enormous. You simply need to make every part of it feel intentional. So, which of these 11 front yard garden retreats inspired you the most? The lush layered garden? The natural stone pathway? The tropical oasis? The secret garden entrance? The peaceful water feature? Or the ultimate retreat at number 11? Whatever your favorite, remember, your front yard is the first part of your home you experience each day. So why not make that experience beautiful? You don't need an enormous landscape. You don't need hundreds of plants. And you don't need an unlimited budget. You simply need a thoughtful combination of greenery, pathways, texture, privacy, and atmosphere. Because the best front yard isn't just the one that looks beautiful from the street. It's the one that makes you feel peaceful when you come home. If this video inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe to Houzz Ideas, and turn on notifications for more beautiful landscaping, garden design, front yard inspiration, and outdoor living ideas. And tell us in the comments, which front yard design would make you feel most at peace when coming home? Thanks for watching Houzz Ideas. And remember, a beautiful garden doesn't just welcome you home. It gives you a reason to slow down. See you in the next video.